Okay, now that we have Steelmaker's coder, we're in business. Yeah, we better skedaddle.
Look! The delicate shuttles are taking off!
Well, we have to wait till they're clear, then...
It exploded!
That was Chief Yankowink's shuttle. There goes Tud Farks.
What the? He's gonna crash! Get down!
Oh, great. He crashed right into Steelmaker's shuttle. Oh, man.
The shuttles were likely sabotaged.
Why?
Because even if they escaped to their shuttles, they were boned. Poor bastards.
The starport is kilometers away. How are we going to get there?
Eric, get to the starport, get to the shuttle, and get it ready for launch. If all goes well, we'll be right behind you. Now get going.
I obey.
Wonderful! He just flies off. Now what do we do?
Well, one great thing about a planetary invasion, no one's going to be guarding the Lexus dealership. So let's get going. Oh, funny thing, I never noticed this place was named the Last Chance Saloon before. Funny. Once upon a fallen career. I know it sounds cheesy, but it's a sad tale. The person and or machine, depending on your worldview, that is now piloting the Derbyshire and bantering away with sparks, is called Superfly. He's roughly 6 feet tall with massive shoulders and a skinny waist and a very, very durable construction. He still bears the logos and the purple-yellow color scheme of the London Knights. Now basically he looks like a big robotic football player, because basically that's what he was. I'm not talking about the kind that they still play in the Euro-Saxon Conference where they actually use their feet to kick the ball, but the GFL, or Galactic Football League, sometimes also known by its more popular fan-given nicknames such as Kill Ball or Murder Ball. You see, Galactic Football is pretty much based on the old American Empire style, but with no human players. You see, football had become so dangerous to the point that actual fatalities had began occurring regularly. So by the end of the 24th century, it was decided that it was much more practical, safe, and cost-cutting to replace all the human players with machines built in their image. The first all-robotic game occurred on the Old Earth calendar date, January 20th, 2381, and that idea tanked big time. You see, the action was great, but the fact that it was now hydraulic fluids on the gridiron instead of blood, saw the GFL Robot League go into a downward spiral from which it never fully recovered. At least not until a long time later, when the ISFL, or the Interstellar Football League, debuted almost 2 centuries later in 2537. The execs of this league brought back the robot players, but this time gave them AI upgrades that gave them individual personalities. They were not only assigned numbers, but names. But of course, the guys in charge of naming this new generation of gridiron robots had a rather peculiar sense of humor. Names that went out were, such as Sam Francisco, Paris Franz, Michael Hunt, Seymour Butts. You get the picture. The one that would become an anomaly all his own. He rolled off the assembly line on March 31st, 2846. Just over 3 centuries into the new football league. And he was the new quarterback for the London Knights, number 7, named Harry Balzac. But the fans called him Superfly. Superfly's AI began to grow in ways that the engineers just could not even pretend to understand. Within his first 10 years off the assembly line, he took the London Knights to the Murder Bowl 8 times. 8 times. Which in itself is almost an impossibility given the harshness of the league. But then, on the 9th time, something incredibly odd happened. The game had gone into overtime, sudden death. Superfly faded back to take the snap, then suddenly stopped, and and the snapped ball bounced off his chest as he stared upward. Just over the Murder Bowl Stadium, he saw a starship fly over, and his optics had locked onto it. The last words that he was heard saying as he got sacked for a loss of some 15 yards was, "I want to fly." And that pretty much ended his career, because even though they'd sent him back to the factory for reprogramming, analysis, diagnostics, the whole 9 yards, he kept saying, "I want to fly." He would not play kill ball again. He simply refused. And fortunately for him, the owner of the team took pity on him, and rather than chuck him into a dumpster or send him back for a complete memory wipe, he did something that no league team owner had ever done before in the history of the game. He canceled out his contract, dropped him off at the nearest starport, left him some seed money, and wished him well. After several decades of taking odd jobs on various merchant ships and cargo freighters, Superfly, aka Harry Balzac, earned his licensing certificates and his pilot wings for most types of Stargo freighters, and he's been flying ever since. I met him less than a month after we left Skydark, and I hired him on the spot. I needed a new pilot, and there he was. And he's been with me ever since. See, things turned out good for him in the end. I just hope it turns out well for us, because things are really starting to suck on this planet.
Marshall 17023, located for time 30 for flight 15. 404, Marshall 17023, located flight 15, for time 2.
What is this, Foxy?
All commercial channels are being jammed.
Did you get through to the boss man?
I was talking to the bosun before the crap went down.
Well, that planetary defense grid is up. I just hope they made it back to the shuttle before it got too thick.
Angus, can you get me more power to the transmitters? How rude.
Oh, give him a break, Sparksy. Hey, Bob, hop on the ops.
Ippo's helping out in engineering. I figured I better come up yet.
Something is coming through. It's on all channels.
Put it up on the main, my main man.
Okay, right, so you can hear me on the going through, yeah? I think it's this. Alright, so, okay. Attention peoples of the HoFoDoMo System. As of 2 standard solar days ago, or as I call it, Toasty love cycles, at approximately 0800 galactic mean time, this system and all of its resources, peoples, etc., are now predictorates of the TSA, the Transstellar Alliance, which means by the very letter of interstellar law, you are now citizens of the Earth Empire, and answer to me. I'm deeply sorry for any inconvenience caused, but a state of martial law is now in effect until you've returned our beloved citizen, Dr. Freedom.
What?
We're strolling his image on all local visual media so that he might be located as soon as possible. He's not handsome in a conventional way, per se, compared to, say, this fella, but whatever floats your boat and gets you going, eh? Earlier this evening, he landed on your little dust bowl to help finalize the very deal that signed you little unwashed winks over to us. He then sealed the deal when he killed 3 of your beloved officials. Roderick Storemaker.
What the hell? You gotta be sure. What?
You should listen to me. Okay. And Chief Yanko Vanko. So naturally you can see why we want him back so much. When Dr. Freedom is delivered to your forthwith. And as an extra added bonus, any citizen who returns Dr. Freedom will receive a substantial monetary endowment along with a t-shirt saying, I helped the Trans-Stellar Alliance. But wait, that's not all.
Like they need more incentive. What the
The
hell?
soldier who brings me Dr. Freedom alive will get a month, count that yes, a month's paid leave, with an all-expensive paid vacation to the planet of Boston, with all the courses of antibiotics you'll probably need afterwards. Yes! All hail the Trans-Stellar Alliance. I am your protector. You know who to trust. Toasty out.
What the? What the? What the?
Great. We've been set up. The good news is we're almost to the starport. If you're packing, you better heat it up. We may have to go in guns blazing.